Well, welcome back, folks. In today's video, we're going to talk about the mid-mount mower deck that is usually mounted on the New Holland compact diesel tractor, which we've talked about in a few other videos. This is a 60-inch mid-mounter, what's otherwise known as a belly mount. I do pull it off in winter, primarily because I do snow plowing, and even though I can lift that unit quite high, it still does have a tendency to catch snow and act as a plow, and it just kind of interferes with snow removal. So I just remove it. And to do that, I have to use the loader. I push down on the loader, lift the front wheels up off the ground, and then I can pull the pins and slide the unit out from underneath, put the tractor back down. I just leave the loader on for the winter, of course, and put a back blade on for snow removal in the winter here in my second driveway. And then I pull the unit, that is the mower deck, into the shop and do the service. So I sharpen the blades, clean the underside, clean the top side, check the belt tension because it is a belt driven. There's 3 pulleys that's driven by transmission or a gearbox more appropriately. So I adjust the tension on the belt and grease all the fittings. There's like 12, I think, fittings on this unit that I have to manually grease, and there's a couple of sealed bearings as well. And then I tuck it away in my pole barn for the winter, and it'll come out probably next April sometime. So I'm going to bring you along for the ride on this a little bit. I did have to do one small repair that I've not ever had to do before in this unit. I think I'll probably have to do more of these over time, but you'll see that in the video. But it's primarily about the maintenance and cleaning and the little repair that we're going to do here in a few minutes. So I'll bring you along for the ride and you can see what I've been up to. There's the underside of the mower deck. That mower deck weighs about 300 pounds, 136 kilos or so. It's very heavy, it's bulky, and it's hard to move. In fact, I usually use the loader on the tractor to move it between my workshop and the pole barn where I store it in the winter. It's just too heavy to move around and drag across the gravel alone. Let me put a photo up here of the before I started to clean it and before I sharpened the blade so you can see what it looked like when I started. As you can see, it wasn't terribly dirty. That was a full season of use, about 6 months. We had a pretty dry summer and I do not have a wet grounds here, so it didn't get terribly dirty, but I do like to clean it thoroughly. By the way, I do all my maintenance on my equipment in the fall or in the autumn. I like to put my equipment away clean and serviced so that crankcases have fresh oil in them and don't have oil that's been run all summer and has contaminants and blow-by and moisture. Same thing with anything else that I'm going to service or use seasonally, such as this mower deck. So it's been thoroughly cleaned, as you can see on the bottom. The 3 sections, there's 3 blades there. I did pull the blades off and sharpen them. I sharpened them using that angle grinder you see right there with a 60 grit flap disc. I've used a number of different techniques over the years, but generally I prefer to use a flap disc. I think it's safer, it's quicker. I sharpen the blades at about a 30-degree angle. I don't put a knife edge on them. I get them reasonably sharp, but there's no sense of putting a knife edge on the blades because if you do, and you hit something like a rock, it'll chip the blade. I also replace the blades every 2 or 3 seasons because they start to wear to the point that getting them, keep them in balance is a challenge. You'll notice I really didn't time the blades. That is, the positioning of the blades is really not necessary to attempt to clock them or time them. This is a belt-driven unit, just a V-belt, and what's really critical is getting each blade balanced, and these were balanced. I put a long, thin screwdriver in my bench vise and just slide the blade over it and look for which end is the heaviest, and want to pull the blade to one side or the other, and then I sharpen accordingly till I get a nice even blade. That's what's really critical on this type of deck, since you really can't time them in the sense that, I could space these at what, 120 degrees each. 360 degrees divided by 3 is 120. but it won't maintain that, because if you have slippage in the belt or you hit something and one blade stalls a bit, it's going to slip anyway, and it's really not considered critical to attempt to time these. Now, some belt-driven mower decks, it is critical, particularly in some commercial units that have a cogged belt where often the blades will overlap each other, and then you do in fact have to get the timing correct. Again, those are usually in a commercial application. I don't think I've ever seen a homeowner version of a mower deck that required timing. So those blades aren't timed. It's not necessary to time them. They won't stay in time anyway. But as you can see, I just mounted them up and then tightened them down. Now, speaking of tightening down, those bolts in the center of those blades require a minimum of 110 foot-pounds of torque to tighten them, which is challenging to do alone because the spindles want to spin and turn the whole unit. All three blades want to turn together. So what I end up doing is putting a long breaker bar on the back, on the end of the opposite end of that spindle, and on the nut, there's a big nut on each spindle on the top side, and wedging that against the floor, and then I can pull against that with the torque wrench. And again, I usually set them to the minimum of 110. I don't see the need to go all the way up to 130, frankly. I've never had a problem at 110 foot-pounds. Let's see, what else? I think that's about it on the bottom side. So it's nice and clean, it's dry. And again, I like to store them dry without matted wet grass up against them. It just causes corrosion and rust. I like to clean everything up thoroughly before I move on to the top side. So this is the first step in maintenance of the mower deck. Now I'll move on to the top end, and I will have to grease the spindles. I will check the blade tension, or I'm sorry, the belt tension. There's an adjustment for that. And I do have one other thing that I have to do that's unique to this deck this year. We'll talk about that more in a few minutes. By the way, those wheels at the top there, right here along the top of the mower deck, there's two guide wheels. I will grease those. There are grease fittings on those before I rotate the deck down to the level. It's a little easier to grease them in this position than when it's down on the ground. There's the top side of the unit. I've got all the preventive maintenance done. It's been cleaned. It's been greased. There's a total of 12 grease fittings on this unit between the front outrigger wheels there and then these trailing wheels here. This is the back of the unit, so the unit goes in this direction when it's being used. And the PTO right there. The tractor uses a mid-mount PTO to drive that gearbox, which then, through this belt arrangement, drives the three spindles for the cutting blades. The belt's been adjusted as well. I'm just about out of adjustment over here. Let's see if I can get my finger in there right there. That's where you adjust the belt, and I'm just about out of adjustment, and it's not because the belt's old. I replace my belts about every 2 or 3 years, and I use only OEM belts. I don't use aftermarket. I think it's because of the spring that keeps tension on the adjuster over here. I'll change sides so it's easier for me to point to. I think that spring's about wore out. It's almost 30 years old. That spring is very expensive. I looked that up on the Case New Holland parts database, and it's like, I'm going to say it's like 60, 70 US dollars just for that spring. And I would buy an OEM spring. I would not buy an aftermarket spring. It's just not the way I roll. So all the maintenance is done now. It's been cleaned and it's ready to just be put away in storage. You know, by the way, I did check the oil in the gearbox. There's a plug you pull on the side here. And as long as the oil level's to the bottom of the hole, the plug hole, you're good to go, and that was. So I'm all set there. I do have one last thing I have to do, which is not really preventive maintenance, but it's a repair. And I'm going to have to reposition the camera a bit so we can take a look at that in more detail. There's two covers that cover this pulley arrangement, one on each side. This happens to be the one for this side of the unit. And there's 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3, that hold this unit in place like this. And the problem I have is this one in front right here is wallowed out. You can see these two are still in place. This one was lost earlier in the season, even though I used Loctite. And I knew at least this one was starting to get wallowed out. even Loctite wouldn't hold it in place. And you can in fact see right here, this mark in the deck, where the cover started to do this later in the season and it wore the paint off, essentially, is what it did. But this, this flange right here is just a threaded flange that these bolts go into. And being wallowed out, there's really not much I can do. I can go to an oversized bolt, I think. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to take and put a new bolt through. I'm going to drill this out, and then I'm going to run this bolt through and spot weld a nut on the back side like that, so that I'll never have the problem again. I have to clean the paint off of here, clean the plating off. This is zinc plated off of here, and end up touching it up before it's all said and done. But I'm just going to spot weld this nut in place. So after I drill this out, I'll, because there's a little thread left in here, not a lot, not enough to really hold, I'll thread the bolt in, tighten up against the nut, just spot weld it wherever I can get at it, and touch it up, and then I should be back in business. You will notice these bolts, or this bolt rather, is a little bit longer than the stock bolts because I wanted to allow for full penetration of the nut like that so I can get a grip on it. So I'm going to clean the paint off the back side of this flange right here, and then on the nut, I'll wire wheel off the zinc plating, and then I'll weld this in place. I'm just going to use my Dremel here with a flat disc on it. So there's our setup. I did take this nut over to the wire wheel and clean the zinc off. You don't really want to attempt to weld through zinc plating. So that's bare steel. You saw me drill it out just to make it easy for that bolt to pass through. There wasn't a lot of meat left in there anyway. So now I'll clean this really well with acetone and get out my welder and just tack that nut into place. I want the flats squared off so it's easy for me to get the welder into these edges here, because I won't be able to get all the way around. So I'm intending to do right now these three, this one, and this one. Then of course I can pull the bolt out. Now I got to go set up my welder. Well, we got that done. It's been a few minutes. I allowed this bolt to cool, probably a good 5, maybe 10 minutes. Not the prettiest weld I've ever done, but it'll certainly suffice for my purposes. And now I can go ahead and put the 2 covers on, and then the maintenance of this unit for the year is complete. Well, we've got it done for this season. All the preventive maintenance is complete. I got that repair over there on that bolt. I welded that bolt in. By the way, I did touch that up with paint. In case anyone's wondering, I'll put a picture of that here next. So that was it. Not a really complicated deal. It's a little physical, manhandling that 300-pound deck in the shop itself. As long as I've got it flat on the 4 wheels, I can maneuver it around, but to tilt it up to get at the bottom blades is a little bit of work. And then from there, I just use a loader and chains to move it into the other building. I do that only once a year, usually in the fall. I think I alluded to that in the video that I do all my maintenance on all my equipment, typically when I'm putting them away for the season. So for items that are used in the summer, such as the mower deck and string trimmer, chainsaw, etc., those are all serviced in the fall. The snow blowers, I have 2 snow blowers, a Toro and a Honda. Those are serviced in the spring because that's when they're put away. So when I bring them out in the autumn or fall, I just add fuel to them and they'll start right up. So it's done for the season, all tucked away for the next 5 or so months. This is mid-November right now as I'm shooting this video. You won't see this for a few more weeks, but it's tucked away until April or so. That's going to be it for the video today, folks. Any issues, questions, thoughts, drop me a note. Otherwise, as usual, thanks for watching.